You are listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo! My compliments, little lady.
Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds.
You are now listening to BaaD Radio.
Hello and welcome to BaaD Radio. BaaD stands for Business at a Distance. This is a show about local businesses and business networking. We are here in the News Radio WFLA studio from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Sunday. I'm your host, Angela Smarito, and in studio with me, we have our co-host, Melissa Jacob.
Hello, hello.
And Melissa's business is called Striking Brand. So she is our co-host as well as our videographer. And if you go to baadradio.com, and that's BAAD radio.com, you'll see all the previous episodes of the show. And you can also go to strikingbrand.com to see all of Melissa's other work, because as well as a videographer, she is a photographer as well.
She's telling the truth.
Nice. I speak the truth. So we have a brand new guest in today. Please welcome Darrell Wittner with Goosehead Insurance.
Hey, everyone. How are you?
Good,
Hello.
good. So do people say Wittner? a lot?
Whitner, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you get a lot of different
Everyone
variations.
wants to put an H in my last name.
Yeah?
I'm like, W-I.
Yeah.
Just
I get
makes no sense.
I get colon. My maiden name is Cullen. I got colon all the time, and I'm like, that's an organ. Please
Right.
don't.
Don't put it that way.
I don't want that one.
Oh, don't even, my maiden name's Cuda.
Oh, God.
I know. I got everything from Cooter to Cooties.
Oh, that's
to
fun.
You
That's
name
That's a
it.
real
Cute.
fun one for middle school.
Oh, it was awful.
That's real
Especially
fun.
when there used to be a show called Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh,
And
yeah?
one of the main characters was this auto mechanic named Cooter.
Cuter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that was everybody, oh, Cooter. I was like, yeah, I've heard
Wow.
that one before.
LOL.
So anyway, so this is Darrell's first time on the show. I was
Yeah.
telling Melissa before the show started that Darrell's new to our BNI group.
Mhm.
So Darrell, just as you know, like the show is all about local businesses and business networking, and that's really what BNI is about. We do
Correct.
talk about BNI a lot on here.
Mhm.
So my first question is to you: is how did you find our chapter in the first place?
So with BNI, I had BNI up in South Carolina where I'm originally from.
Pull that a little bit closer to you. Pull it down. There you go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Uh-huh.
So I had BNI up in South Carolina where I was originally from.
Mhm.
So coming down here, it was like a transit. It was
Okay.
perfect for me.
Mhm.
So moving into that.
How
And-
long? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No,
How
no.
long were you in BNI before? Like when you were in South Carolina?
10 years.
Oh, okay, so you're
Okay.
like a veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, quote unquote, I guess you would say.
I mean, that's a good amount of time.
I would say that 10 years. That's got a lot more than I got
like
underneath
when
my
did
belt.
I know, yeah.
I've only
When-
got like 2 or 3.
do you know when it started? It started a long time ago.
No, I just saw Jamie Stein posted happy
yeah.
39th anniversary
Okay.
to
39.
BNI.
Okay, that's
so
right.
39 years old. I'm older. I'm older than BNI. Anyway, but actually, your category, the insurance category,
Correct.
is actually it's not an easy category to find open in a chapter.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. Because it's usually one of the, I would say, the first ones to get filled.
Oh, absolutely.
So what do you do? I'm sorry, I'm
Mhm.
still learning. Our
Goosehead
guest.
Insurance.
So
Yeah,
I
you
do the personal home and auto insurance for the group. Take care of everything from your home, your auto, your umbrella.
Okay, got it.
Life insurance.
Oh, I was about to
except
say,
for
so not life
we'll
insurance.
deal with it. We'll send that out. To
We
someone.
have a
He
fun,
does.
Daryl and I have a fun story because he
Ooh.
helped me with mine, and we're still going through it.
Life insurance or?
No,
home insurance.
home insurance.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can just jump right into it. We'll go we'll just go all over the place today.
Yeah,
So instead
that's
of
our
starting,
style.
yeah.
That'll work.
So my insurance went up this year. So
Mhm,
I
like
got
everybody's.
I got
right?
the letter in the mail. My insurance company was like, "Hey, we're going to keep you, but this is what it's going to cost you now."
Mhm, correct.
And it was several $100s more than what I was paying before. So if you think about several $100 a month times 12 months, it was a substantial increase. It wasn't just like, oh, here's $50. So that being said, I was like, well, let me shop around, and so I went to our another person that was in our BNI, and they started working on it, but it was well before I was due. I wasn't due for a renewal until October.
Working on your insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of, honestly, it kind of fell between the cracks, which was
Yeah.
super frustrating. And so Darrell took my call, and I didn't even give him a chance to say anything. And I was like, I need your help. I need this, and this done today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Pretty
nice.
much.
She's testing you.
She did. It was a test. There definitely was a test. It's not gonna lie.
And he didn't say, forget about it. I'm not doing that. Who do you think you are? He was like, okay. He's like, she's had a little bit of a rough
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
He gave me the things that you're supposed to. He gave me the empathy and said, okay, all right, let's just figure this out. which was really nice
Yes.
because at that point when I called you, I was super frustrated.
Yeah.
Are you
I
getting
could tell.
are you getting a lot of people like that? Just especially with home
Oh
insurance?
my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
because
home
everybody's-
insurance right now, the way the a rate increases or needing in certain inspections, or we can't insure this because of X problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting a lot of right now.
Right. I'm curious too. I'm going to go back to that too. And so, so he helped me out, and he had a policy in place saving me hundreds of dollars a month and papers, signed, everything done. And I was like, bravo. Now, they've come back and they're like, okay, based off your inspection, you need to do this, this, and this. But the stuff they're having me do is literally legit stuff. Like I need to get my electrical boxes replaced because they're recalled. There was
the 5-point inspection.
yeah,
you probably got.
yeah. I had my Cayman do it.
Oh, nice.
Liberty Property Inspections is one of their show sponsors.
Nice.
But they wanted me to replace my water heater too, and I was like, Darrell, I don't want to replace my water heater.
No. We went to the underwriter on that one, and I got Jack, and Jack said, no, we're good with that.
Oh, you can go get around that?
Yeah.
It's a simple. It's a process. It really is. It's more along the lines of getting the right person on the right day. I hate to say it like that, but you can get someone on the wrong day, and the underwriter's going to look at you and go, no.
Because I was getting the same thing. Like I was shopping around for insurance, and
He's like, hello.
Yeah, he's like, hey, try me.
Why not we can
But
slide my card.
Yeah, I got the same thing. Like the one insurance that I might have swapped to, they were like, you need a new water heater, and I was like, I don't want to.
Well, my water heater's old, but it's in great shape.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not that
it's
old.
not leaking. My hot water is hot. I don't want to replace
Right.
it. I don't want to rip out something that's functional.
I don't want to pay for something that I don't need to
Right.
pay for.
So what you did to me is kind of like magic because you made something a problem that I didn't want to have to deal with go away. So
Correct.
so kudos
The only thing
to
I
you.
could not do was that electrical box.
Well, yeah, that thing's recalled. So
No.
there's nothing.
There was
probably
no. My hands were tied on that situation. I couldn't do anything.
he was helping you, letting you know to do
the
that.
truth is that it's a hazard. There's and so I actually do need to get that that done. I was trying to get away with only having to do one electrical box instead of both of them, but unfortunately,
How much is that? Is that an expensive thing?
I'm gonna drop like $3,000.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
It's a chunk.
Like I said, I was thinking it was when I first read that letter and I wasn't so happy about it. I'm like, Tom, this is like $10,000 worth of repairs. But I don't really know the going rate for electrical boxes. I thought that they were like $5,000 to $6,000 a piece. And then the hot water heater. And then, I called Mike and he's like, you might want to consider, going with a different carrier. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do all that mess. I want to make my family safe. So I want to do the right thing. I'm not trying to just be a cheapskate here. So, but I didn't want to replace my water
No,
heater.
we didn't want to replace that at all. And you didn't want to have to shell out that amount of money.
Yeah.
Nobody
That's the
does.
truth. No one wants
That
to.
is a chunk of
I know.
change.
Yeah. So we're in the process of that right now. We're using Zach Edler with Impact Electric, and he was great. Like he's like, okay, he called Duke. He got the date set. I've got the paperwork. We got it notarized. So everything's in motion. Duke didn't want to do it until in February, but I only have till the 21st
Yeah,
to
well,
get
it's
it done.
we're a little on the timeline. now.
Question for you:
Yeah.
Is there such thing as like leniency on dates? Like, can you call them and be like, "Hey, because
Yes.
of Florida Power or for Duke Energy, they need like an extra week"?
Yeah, as long as we have like a contract or something from the power company
Okay.
saying, so that's no problem. If we need to push it out, we got that.
All right, I might need to do that.
Okay.
Because I think I have like the 18th scheduled for them to turn the electric off so that they can replace the boxes.
Okay.
And that's the 21st. So I
Well-
still have to have the.
She's just talking about her house thing right now. So all the listeners, everybody knows what's going on
Everyone's
at
like,
Angela's house.
What's going on with her house?
Yeah, I was wondering when
Uh,
she's going to get her electric boxes swapped out.
Hey, there's probably a lot of people in my same
That's
situation.
Probably,
true.
yeah.
They
I mean,
know at
it's-
least there's date flexibility now.
Unfortunately, there's more than you would think.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
true.
this is stuff that we don't know. So,
Mhm.
I think it's really important for all that stuff. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to ask for that leniency because I only will have like 2 days to get the property management or the Liberty property out there to re-inspect and update the inspection report.
Yeah.
That is that. So you hear that? I don't know. Can you hear that little music coming?
Yeah.
That's our little cue to say we're going to break.
Okay.
I always pick the music. So anyway, so we're going to
Good choice, by the way.
Thank you. We're going to continue on with more BaaD Radio after the break, so stay tuned.
Welcome
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore. It's cold out there, so cuddle up with the loved one, but first, a trip to Premier Couple Superstore. Premier Couple Superstore has got a huge selection of lingerie, shoes, toys, games, love oils, and a ton of great gifts. With Premier Couple Superstore, you don't pay those high prices because you go directly to the source. 5009 South OBT, or shop online at premiercouples.net, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Oh, yeah.
You missed your cue.
You know what? I was thinking about sharing a story. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I was just going to say that the ladies in there are really nice. So if you are worried about feeling like creeped out or something.
Did you
by
go?
the people, yeah.
Yay!
I'm sorry I missed my cue.
That's all right.
I was literally off. Sorry.
Here, I'll send that
Yeah.
last part again.
Yeah.
Because a couple that plays together stays together.
There we go. It doesn't feel right.
There you
It
go.
doesn't feel right unless we hit that. Sorry.
So we're here with Darrell with Goosehead Insurance, and I actually do want to hear the Premier story.
That's it. That's
Oh.
really it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, stores like that, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable or whatever, but the ladies in there, they're older and they're like
they're like, honey.
yeah, exactly.
They have a beautiful lingerie department.
They're really chill.
Mm-hmm. So,
Mhm.
anyway, yes, they're one of our supporters, and they're
Nice.
great people.
Mhm.
So we kind of jumped ahead a little bit on that first segment, but I wanted to go back. So you said that you were up north, or you were in BNI for 10 years. Was that with insurance as well, or what
Yeah,
did you do prior to that?
No, I've been in insurance for 10 years.
Okay, and what made you decide to get into it? Because it's not. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's not the sexiest of things in the whole
No,
It's
world.
not on the
not.
list when you're in elementary school. When
wanna
the
be an
teacher's like,
insurance
"What do you want to
agent."
be?" Yeah,
So
firefighter.
how I got into the business originally. So I went to college in electrical engineering. So
Okay.
that is my background for education purposes.
Right, you got a pat on the back saying, "Good boy, you're gonna make lots of money."
Yeah, that's the truth. And then I started to work for a company, General Electric,
Mhm.
up in Greenville, South Carolina, and they decided, we're going to send you to Turkey for 6 months,
Hmm.
and that was during a wartime.
Oh, I was
So-
going to ask how you felt about that, but that kind of gives me more information.
Yeah, no, I was not okay.
Do you
with
like
it.
traveling in
What?
general?
Yeah.
I
or-
don't mind traveling. It didn't really work out for me and my wife
Mhm.
because at that time we were trying to have our son.
Okay.
And it doesn't work that way.
No, but why Turkey?
Yeah. Why?
Because they needed me to go out there to do the laser inspections on the turbine. So
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's when you think about becoming an electrical engineer. That's not really something you think about. You know, it's not like joining the military or
No.
anything like that, where you would think you'd go to war zones. So,
Mhm.
so did that make you just be like, yeah, sorry?
no,
it's
so
not gonna
it
happen.
actually worked out. My father-in-law said, "Hey, just come work for me." So I went and got my insurance license and started working for him, and I was with him forever.
Okay, so it's a family thing.
Yeah, it was a family
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
So to be an insurance agent, you just said you have to get a license.
Correct.
What does
You
that look like?
have to pass the state. Well, down here it's the 220 license for property casualty, and
Is each state different? So
it-
you can sell insurance in the state you're approved in, but you can't just sell it in any state in the United
you have to
States.
have licenses in each state.
Okay.
So, like my license, I'm licensed in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Michigan, Indiana. I've
And is
got-
it one test that covers all those areas, or do you
Yeah.
have to take a separate test?
you
for
don't
each?
have to take a
nice.
separate test.
I know, right?
It's just you're paying fees at that point. So
Well, that doesn't mean it ain't gonna happen because you pay
Mhm.
70. How much each year to
So much.
register your
Yeah.
license or
Yeah.
your registration? So.
and I mean I give the test as credit, but it is an 80% fail rate.
Oh wow.
Really?
It's pretty high. I mean, we had an associate that was going to come work with us, and he didn't pass it 3 times. He took it 3 times.
So there's no limit on how many times they can't finally just say, okay, enough,
No.
enough, kid, get out.
No, it's not a limit for how many times you can take it. It's just a limit on how many times your employer is going to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much does it cost?
The test, it's been a while since I took the test. When I took the test, it was in South Carolina now. It was like $170.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So
Yeah,
would
but
pay
if
for
you
that.
keep paying for it for somebody that you're
over
like,
and over.
please just study, please.
But some people are not good at testing.
I know.
This is true.
I know.
This is true. Yes, some people are definitely not good at testing.
I'm books. I got good grades, but I'm not a good tester.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
and I'm the same. So it's like I have to really study, and my nerves get to me. Then I start second guessing myself, and then the next thing you know, I'm like, my time's up, and that's just my. So
And
I
you
get
Christmas tree
Mhm.
the rest of it.
right. SATs and ACTs were like my nightmare in high
You're
school.
same.
But you
No.
passed it the first time.
No, which one? The insurance?
insurance?
Yeah, I did pass it
Yeah,
the first
well,
time because
that's
it was
good.
like it was one of those. He like you need to do this because I need you to start doing this. work."
Right.
So I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know when I first graduated from college, I have a degree in marketing, but I took a sales job selling medical equipment. And they shipped us to California, and we spent 2 weeks just like in this classroom doing nothing but studying for like 10 hours a day. And then you had
Mhm.
like 2 or 3 hours of homework.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had to take tests the whole next day. And we started with a class of 60, and 10 of us made it through.
Wow.
But the only reason I made it through is because I had just gotten done with school, and I was acclimated to sitting in a classroom.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, so you were used to the.
So the people that weren't fresh out of college, that had careers,
Right.
that
Mhm.
weren't used to that environment,
Right.
forget about it. They were
Right.
done. It was grueling though, so I'm glad you didn't have to go through anything like that.
No, it was not. It was just sticking to it. So
Mhm. And was there any particular? So it was your father-in-law's business.
Mhm.
Was there any particular field that he focused on as far as homeowners, auto, or do all insurance companies like focus on all of them?
Generally, most of them focus on all of them. You'll have some companies, some insurance agencies that will specialize in like commercial insurance or
Right.
life insurance. Just depends on what their niche is, really.
Right. So I'm going to ask you the $1 million question.
Mm.
What's the advantage of coming to you instead of going directly to the carriers?
You have me as your agent,
Mm-hmm.
but two, it's the value of choice because I have all the companies that I'm able to quote, especially in the state of Florida. I mean, down here our regulations, some companies are pulling out. You either have to go with Citizens or you're stuck.
I've heard of like 5 people turning to Citizens.
Yeah.
But I hear horror stories about
Yeah.
Citizens.
Well,
Like horror stories.
It's
I mean,
government.
it's one of those things
Is that who you have?
No, I said,
Oh,
isn't that the government?
It is
Yeah.
it is the state insurance.
Uh-huh.
But if you go with Citizens, you're not really worrying about their financial responsibility because it is a government entity. Whereas you can look at, say, TipTap, for instance. That's one of the insurance agency
What's it called?
companies. TipTap.
Tip-tap.
It's one of the companies that is now taking all the business that is being depopulated from Citizens
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and then putting it into their book of business.
Mm.
So, with their financial ability, they're traded just like we are on the stock exchange. So you're able to see their financial stability and able to say, oh, they're going to pay my claim,
Right.
where Citizens might not.
I heard that Citizens doesn't pay claims.
Right.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
No,
We've heard horror stories too.
I listened to the show called Air Quality, or it's a Contractor Talk with Richie Kidwell,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the one who goes and fights the insurance companies. And Citizens is one that he talks about all the time for not paying claims
Mm-hmm.
and just flat out denials, and then literally letting it go to litigation and the homeowner sitting in a house with like half a roof and
Yeah.
water coming in and more damage happening and so anytime I don't tell people that when they say I got Citizens, I'm just like
You're like,
All right.
also because
I tell them, I'm like, look, this is a last resort.
Yeah.
Like that is what it says on their training is this is a last resort. And I was like, if you can be put with a regular carrier and pay a little bit more, do it.
do it.
What were you gonna say?
Absolutely.
I was gonna say Brooke Bolts says the same thing with Bolts Legal. So
Yeah,
as
does
soon as
she?
you hear somebody talking about Citizens, just be like, I'm just gonna give you somebody's card,
Yeah.
just in case.
Well, the way that I look at Citizens is if you have to have insurance because you have a mortgage, but you want to pay as little as possible, but just with the understanding, if you incur
You're-
damage, you're going to pay out of
you're gonna
pocket.
pay.
It's true.
So I think that's what people are doing. They're
Mhm.
just saying, "Hey, I can't afford." Is State Farm even still writing in the state of Florida?
I still see a couple. I mean, their auto insurance is
I know their
Yeah,
auto is.
yes.
I have that for auto.
not
but I didn't.
homeowner insurance.
No, and I know Farmers is out.
Farmers is out. Yep.
What are some of the other big?
Allstate,
I know
Allstate's out.
Allstate is out
Yeah.
too. So who absorbs the farmers, like clients, or do
it
they
either-
cover them until they expire?
Well, I mean, I've seen some farmers agents that'll turn into independent brokerages that
Mhm.
basically get contracts with just like we do with other carriers.
Mhm.
So I've seen that.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want to talk about some of the carriers, and
Okay.
if you don't mind, I want to continue talking. We'll go to auto, but I want to still continue to talk about homeowners, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so we're gonna go to break, and when we get back, we're gonna talk more with Darrell. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back to the show, and this portion is brought to you by Body Street of Winter Park. Experience the future of fitness at Body Street in Winter Park. Lose weight, build muscle, tone your body in only 20 minutes a week. Visit bodystreet.us, where fitness meets efficiency. And we are here with Darrell Wittner with Goosehead Insurance, and we were talking about carriers that are actually writing policies in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's just talk a little bit about why so many carriers, and why are we in the situation that we're in right now with insurance companies increasing rates, pulling back. I mean, we've had hurricanes before, but this one that came through a year ago, September, was it September? Ian,
Yeah.
seemed to really turn the state upside down. What was with it? Why? Why was it? What happened?
It's not necessarily the carriers. It's a product called reassurance that the insurance carriers have to buy.
What is that?
Reassurance is basically the product that covers claims. Okay. And when they take more rate increases in the reassurance market, then that affects your premiums when it comes to your actual homeowner's insurance, auto insurance, because all companies require, regardless if it's auto or home, are going to have to buy reassurance.
So who's selling the reassurance again?
It's an independent market. It's also government that controls the actual reassurance markets.
That sounds like such a fake thing.
It does.
It does, right?
Reassurance.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad. It's
Insurance
not
buying
just-
insurance. And
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was because there was so much property damage from Ian because of all the water
And it's the
that a lot
claims.
of the carriers were like, okay, this is just, it's too steep for us.
It's
They couldn't afford.
overwhelming.
Yeah, they couldn't afford the actual claims amount that come through, so that made them insolvent.
Yeah. How was your life after Ian?
Oh, but now my part, I was actually still in South Carolina, so I was okay.
He's
Oh,
fine.
I was fine.
Yeah. Well, South Carolina's had its share of
Oh, it
hurricanes.
has.
So.
It has.
Often though.
Mhm.
Huh?
Often though. I mean, I know
No.
sometimes they come up the coast, but
Ours was more hail damage. Like we got a lot
Okay.
of hail.
Oh.
Yeah, there was more hail claims and everything.
do you
like
guys
that.
have to board up windows and stuff on the coast or anything like
Yeah.
that?
Wasn't Hugo a big one that hit?
Hugo was huge.
That hit-
That
That
was a
Myrtle
long
Beach,
time ago.
that got destroyed in '89. I think it was
Yeah.
'89. Or
I'm that
something.
old, so it's
Oh.
that's a normal thing for me.
Um,
I remember Andrew. If you guys ever heard, it was way before both y'all's time, but Andrew was the big one that took out a town down south, Homestead or something like that, and that's all you ever heard about. It's Andrew.
Mm.
But we've had some pretty bad storms since then. 2004, we had 3 that came through like back to back, and the first one I remember was Charlie.
mhm.
And it was small, but it was like a twister, and
Yeah.
it would very easily just rearrange everything in the neighborhood. People were going to the grocery stores, and there was like arcade machines in there from the arcade like a block down, and it spawned a ton of tornadoes.
Yeah.
So we would drive through a neighborhood, and you'd see a house was cool, house was gone.
Yeah.
House was cool. It was bizarre. I didn't own a house. Well, actually, no, I did own a house. I owned a townhouse because it was like 6 days before Anna was born. We lost our roof. The house, our tree, our oak tree in front of us got twisted. Like it got,
Split out.
it was like,
Ooh.
it was crazy.
That's crazy.
But our homeowner's insurance covered everything.
Yeah.
So we had it right. But nowadays, I don't know if the same would happen.
You probably have a little fight.
She says it so calmly.
Honesty.
But I mean, what is the big thing that is there really that much fraud that people try to do against their insurance company that they have to like put this many things in place to try to catch it or say that's pre-existing? I don't know. I don't know that many dishonest people. So
No, it's more. It's not so much on the at least on the homeowner side. It's more on the auto side when it comes to fraud.
oh really?
Yeah. People, I mean, people can. I'm sorry, I apologize. Have a lot of more. I would say it comes down to the claim saying, "Hey, I have this problem,"
Uh-huh.
but they don't have that problem.
Are you talking about like they got the neck thing on that they said they got hit and they're hurt or whatever? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, for our homeowners, I see they send like out you file a claim, they send somebody out, their engineer or whatever they call it nowadays.
I mean, it's an adjuster.
It's an
That's
adjuster,
that's all
yeah.
it is.
And they're like, that looks like it, was already there. And so, we'll cover half your roof. No, my favorite is we'll cover 25% of your roof replacement. And you're like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Well, that's why you always have your homeowners insured, like we did with yours, where we endorse it to have full replacement on the roof.
Yeah.
What they're coming up with this 25% is what's called actual cash value. There's two different types of coverages.
Oh, okay.
The reason you have the actual cash value, it's cheaper in premium, but you're paying for that roof because they're only going to cover a certain percentage.
Right.
Versus a full replacement, you pay your deductible and that's it.
Right.
So
I heard a little birdie tell me that they're actually going to come up with separate insurance just for roofs. Have you heard that?
I have not.
Separate insurance just
Yeah,
for
no.
roofs.
So you have homeowners insurance
yeah.
and then you have roof insurance. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised.
If someone knows where that, can you you'll have my contact information. Please find that for me. I kind of want to know.
I'm trying to remember who I was talking to an inspection company, like a home inspection company.
Really?
And I said, well, you know what? If I was a bank or something like that, I would start putting together the outline for loans just for roof replacements.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's standard now for any type of mortgage is full replacement on everything. So that's the standard, and I don't see that changing.
Right. But I mean, now it's like they want your roof to be 10 years old or younger before they're going to cover it, right?
No. I've insured roofs that are 15, 20 years old.
Really?
Yeah. It just depends on how it's insured, because you can have a 20-year-old roof with an actual cost value. So with an ACV, you're looking at having to replace the roof basically yourself, but it's still covered.
See, this is interesting to have somebody that's kind of on a different side of things, because I'm so used to talking to claims attorneys and property appraisers and things of that nature who are like, nope, if it's 10 years or older, they're going to say we're not going to insure it, or we'll insure for the 25% thingamajigger. That's an official word too, thingamajigger.
For thingamajigger? Yeah, I like thingamajiggers.
Oh, well, let's flip on over to auto. So again, auto, I've had my experience with it. My daughter just totaled a car before, and we had State Farm, and it was not, the totaling of the car was a horrifying experience because I was so scared.
Right.
But she didn't get hurt. But we did all the things. We got her to a chiropractor within 14 days, and, we did all the things. And State Farm was really good about, the car was totaled, but they gave us the, what the black book or blue book or whatever value is for the car, which is actually more than what we owed on it. So we were able to utilize that.
Nice.
So that worked out good. But you're saying that there's a lot of fraud in the auto insurance?
Especially when it comes to claims of, who hit who, and then you have to go to litigation. And
But dash cams are a lot more of a thing now.
That
right?
is a big thing I would say right now to utilize. Get a dash cam. I mean, I have one in my truck. It works.
We got both the kids' dash cams for Christmas.
Fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Do you have one?
They're so
No.
cheap. I don't understand why so many people don't have them, because they're so cheap. You can get one on Amazon for
I don't have
$30.
one. I have reverse. Like, I have the thing that I can, when I put in reverse, I can see where I'm going, and it beeps at me if it tells me I'm going to hit something.
No.
Which I still don't use. But
Oh yeah, you can get one on Amazon for like $30.
Why would they be why do you encourage people for accidents and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So you have footage?
Yeah, you have footage. You have proof.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say, "Oh, it wasn't my fault," and you hand in the video and you're getting hit in the back, that's irrefutable.
Well, there's some accidents that happen that if there's no witnesses, then they always will go. Like if you rear end somebody, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Unless you have a dash cam that says that they did something that they weren't supposed to.
Correct.
Right.
How are they going to see you if it's in the back?
I don't
It's
know.
on your tag. That's where the camera goes.
In the back.
Yeah, on the tag. Usually, like you put in the screw bolts, and it like rests on that. That's where you
So
usually
you're
put
seeing behind you.
Uh-huh.
And it's sorry. When I think dash cam, I think there's a thing in your front.
Yeah, there
mirror
is. You can get one that
Yeah.
front facing, and then one that's rear facing.
too.
Right.
Mhm.
No, my friend Jill,
Oh,
her son got
okay.
into an accident, and
Yeah.
if he didn't have a dash cam, he would have been ticketed for the way the accident happened. But because he had a dash cam, the cops were able to see that the other driver was at fault, and that saved them. I mean, that means insurance covered it. He got all of his medical bills paid and everything like that. If he wouldn't have had it, that kid would have gotten a ticket and they would have been SOL.
Oh, very much so.
It's like an instant replay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk more about that when we get back from break. But I am interested in I want to hear like a couple of the stories of like some funny claims. So.
Oh, I've got one for sure.
Well, you guys stay tuned for more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Ground Up Property Services. Do you know what your sprinkler system did last night? Probably not. So now is a good time to get your irrigation system serviced by Ground Up Property Services. Be sure to ask Rick Hall about at Ground Up Property Services about a water sensor too, so your lawn doesn't get too much water. We got a ton of water with that storm that just came through.
True story.
And don't forget about the lawn painting service. If you're planning an outdoor event and you want to hide those brown spots on the lawn, call 407-468-4295 or visit groundupinc.net. We've got Rick scheduled already for
your yard?
Yeah, well, no, on the show.
Oh. I thought you were going to do the whole grass painting thing.
No, we don't need it at this point. We don't have anything. But yes, it's an eco-friendly paint that he does for, like, if you're having a wedding or you're doing pictures or you're having something outside and because of certain weather conditions you have brown spots, he can make it all look nice in the same color.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, but he does a great job. I'm trying to get him in our BNI chapter so bad. He's been a guest a couple of times.
And why won't he come?
Huh?
Why won't he just want to, like...
Well, for him, it's a scheduling thing.
Oh, okay.
Because most of the time when you're working on the irrigation system, you want to do it first thing in the morning before it gets too hot.
It's true.
And so, you know what I mean? It's hard for him. He's at a size that's like not quite ready to hire somebody, but, you know, he's in that in-between phase.
Oh, I know. That
and so it's that early morning thing that's kind of been messing with them. But I'm working on it. All right, so we were talking with Darrell with Goosehead Insurance, and before break, we are going to hear I said we want to hear some stories. So this is an auto insurance story, right?
Yes, it is. It is a claim.
I love stories.
This is for you parents that have 16-year-olds.
Uh-oh, that's me.
That's me, too.
Well,
You
this
picked
is
a
going to
good
be
story.
a horror story.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
All right. Nobody died, though, right?
No one died.
Okay,
No one
then I'm
died.
good.
Just bad driving on the 16-year-old. This goes back to having those dash cams. So the 16-year-old decided, hey, I'm going to use my car. I'm going to go out for a drive. And
Boy or girl?
It was a boy.
Okay.
Met his friends. His friends were kind of egging him on, from what I understand from the parent. And he decided, I'm going to act crazy. And ended up wrapping his car around two Ferraris.
Wrapping his car around two, not one, but two
Ferraris.
Where were they?
It was on the highway and everything like that, and he just lost control and ran right into it. And I guess they were just driving normal, or I don't know. I guarantee you there was some type of...
Are Ferraris like bikers where they ride in packs, you know? So usually if you see one biker, you see like
usually,
two or three. So
usually you see more than one.
Or like they're like out for a leisurely drive and they're nice.
I thought they just did that
Supercar.
like, hey, we both have cool cars,
Yeah,
like
well.
wave thing.
And yeah, that was a hefty claim.
Oh.
I mean, he was I had him covered properly, but without having it, covered properly, they would have been out,
Well, I'm sure
$400,000.
I was going to say 3,000.
400,000.
Wow. Oh my
It's gonna be a lot more.
gosh. Yeah, that's
a
way
whole
over
story.
my pay grade.
Same.
And you know what? I don't even want to have that pay scale. I don't want to be the person that has
I don't
a
want that.
400.
I don't want that responsibility. You can keep it.
I was actually surprised when we got Aiden's insurance because we have two kids, a 19-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got Anna insured, it wasn't that bad. And she had like a 2018 Ford Focus, and that's the car that ended up getting totaled. But she got hit, and they ticketed her. But I was furious because they had everything wrapped up, done, car gone before my husband or I could get there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the person that hit her was, not an elderly person, but, a grown up. And we fought it, and we took it to court, and it got thrown out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So because it was just, you know what I mean? It's in downtown Oviedo. You know how the roads there?
Oh, those are so tiny, aren't they?
It was just like they got this going over here and over here, like right where that big church is and stuff. And so that was a mess. But then with Aiden, we bought him an Accord, but the Accord had the word sport in it. We didn't realize.
Yeah, it's the classification of the car is going to be more insurable. Yeah.
So is it a bad thing if you like bounce people around on who's a primary?
No, I mean it just depends on like where you want them to put them. Really, if you have
does it make a difference in the coverage?
It doesn't makes no difference in the coverage.
Because we're all
a difference
covered.
in price, but not in coverage.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, let's tell her what we're talking about.
Oh wait, yes, like a primary driver on an entrance.
Correct.
Sorry.
Yeah,
yes, I
So
do.
if you've got say
We have
6-year-old
four
on
drivers.
the Honda Civic,
Right.
and then but their car is listed as
He's a Honda Accord Sport.
yeah. I mean that's just
You
however
want to know
place it.
who the primary is on that?
You? That's right.
Yeah, that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm the oldest female in the house,
Yeah,
so
that's what I was gonna
I
say.
am the least amount. I cost the least out of everybody. I
Mhm.
would cost the least on every car that we own.
Could you just not put your teenager as like the primary on any vehicle?
We did that for a while, but then Rob said,
You
Eventually.
you have to have them on a primary vehicle.
yeah,
Yeah.
at some point, like if he were to get into an accident, they'll be like, this child's 18 years old.
Why
and
weren't they listed?
Yeah,
That's a no.
so that would be bad.
But like can't you have them insured but not as a primary? Is that a thing?
I don't
The
think
listed
so.
driver.
Yeah.
You can have them listed as a driver, but it depends on the company too, because
We have State Farm.
Progressive, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
as Progressive, it doesn't matter what car's listed
Mm-hmm.
because you're not putting a driver with that car. You're
Mhm.
just insuring the vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So-
is that how Progressive is different
Mm-hmm.
with Flow?
Yeah, with Flow. So like you're not insuring. It's just purely on that one vehicle. They're
Mhm.
going to say, oh, we've got this many available parts. That's how much the premium's going to be.
Is
Stuff like
Progressive usually better priced?
price wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, usually beat State Farm with the price.
Do you have Progressive?
I do.
Really?
Mm.
Who do you have?
Moving on.
Oh
I don't know.
no.
You
I think it's
You don't know who your auto insurance is?
I
Oh,
recently
smack
changed.
your-
I usually had I used to have USAA, and now I think I do actually have
Oh my God, you're so cute. Just so you
I
know.
know.
You have it-
Progressive.
do you?
I think.
I had Geico forever, and then
Everyone's like, yeah.
and then like for a young adult, Geico was really good. But then when my husband and I got married, he had State Farm since he was little, and I don't know what it was, but we were just able to get in on a really good rate. And State Farm's always been good to us in the
Yeah.
auto department. So, but yeah, seeing what Aiden's insurance would have been on the Honda Accord Sport was like double all three of the other ones put together. It was crazy expensive. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna.
Because he's a teenage boy too.
Mhm.
So is that true?
Yeah,
Boys are more expensive than girls.
Historically, yes.
Mhm.
Boys are more expensive than girls.
I am going to argue with the fact about young drivers. I think the biggest problem with the drivers out there are old people.
Old people and people like I think not the ones that are like have just gotten their driver's license for the most part. I feel like they're a little bit more like almost uber
Timid,
like
yeah.
like cautious for the most part. I mean I have a girl, so I
Uh-huh.
don't know if it's just how she is.
Right.
Aiden's super calm. He's
Yeah.
like, he doesn't want to drive.
I think it's like right after they get just comfortable enough
Mhm.
to where then it's like now you're in danger
Well,
zone.
I
Yeah.
see old people as a problem because they don't follow the rules of the road. They ride in the wrong lane. They go too slow, and they cause everybody to like want to do all this stuff to try to get around them, and that
Mhm.
causes accidents. That's my theory.
And I'm one of those people that get around you because if you're especially in that third lane, and I'm having to get home.
My big thing is follow the rules of the road.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, these are the
I
rules.
think
but-
that's everybody's
Yeah.
thing.
No, well, no, because you have the nice people that are like they come to a four-way stop. They're like, "Oh, go ahead,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead."
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, "No,
Oh,
I
that
got."
is the most irritating thing ever. And I'll tell Marin because she's like, that's my 16-year-old.
Uh-huh.
She is like super like people pleaser and like wants to
Right.
everything to go. So I'm like, don't do this because
No.
I could see her
Get
doing
there,
it. Like,
go.
you go ahead first. I'm like, no,
Get
Follow
there,
the rules.
go.
do it the way you're
That
supposed
happened
to
to
do it.
my niece Tara. Somebody waved her on, and she got her car totaled.
Oh, nice.
I know she's
That's
okay
nice.
though too.
I'm glad she's okay.
Music means we're coming to break. I know it's fun though.
Yeah.
We'll have you on again. So give everybody. We have a minute, so give everybody your contact information.
So, Darrell Wittner with QSET Insurance. Phone number's 321-684-7261. And my email is Darrell, Darrell, Wittner, Wittner, @QSET.com.
awesome, and I'll post that as well.
And you can find me at strikingbrand.com.
All right. Well, we have another whole hour of BaaD Radio coming up, so stay tuned.
You're listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo! My compliments, little lady.
Come on, shop.
Break for 30 seconds.
now listening to BaaD Radio.
Welcome back as we launch into the second hour of BaaD Radio. I'm going to run through all of the regular info for those of you who might have just joined us. I am your host, Angela Smarito, and we have our co-host, Melissa Jacob.
Hello, hello.
And she is our co-host and our videographer, and her company is called Striking Brand. And if you go to baadradio.com, that's our website. That's BaaDradio.com. You can see all the previous episodes of BaaD Radio there. You can also find them on YouTube. And if you go to strikingbrand.com, you can see all of Melissa's other work because she is a photographer as well as a videographer. So we have another brand new guest today, and I'm going to probably torture or mutilate your last name, but it's Ashley Voltoline.
Yep.
Did I get it right?
Yep. Voltoline.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
And your business is called Get Me Automated, correct?
Right.
All right. So I told Melissa that I did not do a bunch of research on your company. Intentionally.
Okay.
Because I wanted to hear what this is. Like when I say Get Me Automated, I think about everything that's got to do with technology. Am I anywhere close?
Well, yeah. So like business and sales automation.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm sure everyone's heard of like ChatGPT and
Oh,
AI
yeah.
and all that. So
What about like Salesforce and stuff like that? Is that a thing? I mean, Salesforce is like what all the salespeople in this building have to use.
right. Yeah. So that's a CRM that we integrate with.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
What's CRM stand for?
Customer relationship management.
Okay.
So that's like where like your central place where you keep all of your customers and notes about them and automations, email automations that you do.
Right. So is it just for the sales?
For that and also for marketing.
Okay. Tell me what that looks like. I know what Salesforce is.
Right.
Luckily, I've never had to use it.
Do you hate it? Does it look awful?
No, it's just you know what? The reason that I prefer not to use them is because I'm super nitpicky about things, and I take lots of notes, and I spend too much time in the system documenting things and not enough time going and doing the things that I'm documenting. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So is there a way to overcome that? Let me know.
Yeah, well, Salesforce is kind of a little bit more of a complicated UI, I would say. Like we use Keep, and then some of our customers use Active Campaign. So a little more user friendly.
Right. So let's start from the beginning. So who's going to come find you for your services?
Okay. Small businesses, small to medium sized businesses that have a staff, have like cars on the road, service businesses.
So service industries, people that have a sales staff.
Right. Yeah.
Any ones that don't really, but maybe just businesses that still need to sell, but without actually a sales force. I mean, that's kind of what BNI is our sales force, right?
Right. Yeah. So also businesses that are looking to do like email marketing or text marketing to get their, or even running ads. So Google ads, setting up landing pages.
Nice.
And
website?
And websites.
Okay.
We don't do a lot of setting up the website, but we'll do tweaking of it to make it.
So people, when they Google things, that they're higher up there. I love all that stuff.
So like the pop-up, do you like help them with the like pop-up things for their website just to help kind of filter clients towards?
Of course. Yeah. So that's a great thing. So when someone comes to your website, there's a pop-up, they fill out a form, and then based on the answers of their form, it'll go into the CRM and segment them and say like, okay, you like green shirts or you like red shirts, and then you can send emails based on their choices. So it's more personalized.
That's actually pretty fascinating. Isn't it crazy what technology will let us do as far as like targeting our demographic and who we want to reach and stuff? Do people still do a lot of email marketing?
Yes, actually, it is, and actually, there's a lot of new rules that Google and Yahoo have put out starting February 1st.
That will block a lot of the sales ones.
Right. So it's businesses are having to authenticate their SPF, DMARC, and DKIM. Those are things that we're doing right now within the next 2 weeks, because if you don't have those set up, Google and Yahoo will not deliver your emails into the inbox. So I think it's a good thing, and it's kind of a hassle for everyone having to do it, but it's definitely a good thing so that the right emails, we don't have a bunch of spam.
What are those things that they're asking them to do?
Yeah.
What are they?
Okay, so when you go to your domain and you go to the DNS record, there's TXT files and CNAMEs. Those are just little codes that you're going to put on there, and it authenticates, and it lets your CRM know, like, okay, this is really me sending, because a lot of, like, you've heard of like phishing and spam,
Right.
spoofing, things like that. So you want to make sure that it's really you sending from your domain.
For example, like I have my domain, baadradio.com, and so my email is angela@baadradio.com. Sometimes, well, actually, John Kennedy, who's is our IT guy, he went in here and did some stuff on here so that when I email people, it doesn't put me to spam. Is that what he did?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Okay,
So
so
that's like
those-
layman terms.
Yeah. So that just basically is like validating that it's a real business. That's the whole point of the new rules for Google.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So question, if like I email somebody and it goes to their junk and I'm like, hey, I just emailed you, and then they go into their junk folder and they find me and they take me out of junk, will I still always get sent to the spam folder since they said I'm not, or is it always going to do that until I'm authenticated on my end?
So there's a couple of things, like you definitely need to authenticate on your end. That's going to be, if you don't, you're always going to go to spam.
Okay.
Yes. But if they move you out of spam, that helps. Also, if they reply back to you, that helps.
Okay.
So that Google knows that they really wanted to receive your email because they're
Right.
So when you're sending out emails, try to ask like a question like, hey, let me know how
Right.
you've been this week.
I do a
Those are
lot
good.
of let me know you got this email.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. So it's one of those things that you think that would come, like they do it all the time, but even for me, I'm like, man, I didn't get that email. Let me check my spam folder, and 9 times out of 10, that's where
Yeah.
it is. And it's crazy. Sometimes there's certain emails that come from like this building where some of them go to my spam, and then sometimes they don't. It's like I don't know what time they are or when they are or when they're not. So is that something that I can do on my end? So if I say I want all emails that come from iHeart,
Like add them to your address book or something.
Yes. Yeah.
okay, all right, well that's good to know.
I always try to remember to check spam too if I'm waiting for something, because it only takes that one time where you're like, I still didn't get that email back to somebody, and they're like,
Yes,
I
you
sent
did.
it, and then you check spam, and you're like, oh,
man,
shoot, my bad. You want to go out for lunch?
Right. I'm super interested about the software though for helping track sales, because I am a salesperson. I've always been a salesperson. I worked as a salesperson here at iHeart, and then I went over to a smaller radio group, and now I'm the director of business development for Mindful Media Group, which is an advertising agency. But I've always flown around the systems like Salesforce, and so I've never really had to operate with that. So first and foremost, so say if it's a business of 10, and they have 3 salespeople, what does something like Salesforce cost?
Yeah, Salesforce is pretty pricey. For that.
I know I said Salesforce. Think of tell us of another one besides Salesforce. That's the only one that I know
Oh
of.
yeah, so I the price for that for like 10 users would probably be around $600 a month.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't think it was that too bad.
I'm sorry, that sounds painful.
$600 a month for
Yeah.
tracking sales? I don't
Yes.
think so.
I mean,
think,
I guess, yeah. It
depends on what you're selling, I
Yeah.
guess. But I mean, in radio sales, that's
Yeah,
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah. For one, like for if it's just you or like 2 users, it's like 300. So it's like it goes up based on users. So
And so your business is basically a broker then for all those types of things. So a business owner would come to you and say, hey, you know what, I want to automate my sales force. And so I don't really have a budget, but can you tell me, I'm looking to do this, and this, and then you find the right product for them?
correct, yes. So
Okay.
some like Salesforce is not their best feature is not automations. So if that's what you were looking for, I probably wouldn't steer you towards to there. I would do more of like an active campaign or Keep. So because those are known for that. So yeah. And then we'll figure out what software you already have, like if you have QuickBooks or if you're using some other kind of software that we can integrate in. So we'll see what you have and what works best.
Well, some of those systems you can set up auto responses. So you know what? That music means we're going to break. But I'm going to talk more about that because I'm curious if it can send out a reminder or something like that to those people that you want to get in touch with. So hold that thought. And when we get back, we'll have more BaaD Radio. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Frogger's Grill and Bar. Looking for a place to go with friends or meet new ones? Then you're looking for Frogger's Grill and Bar. With daily specials, an amazing kids menu, and sports, and more sports, there's something for everyone at Frogger's Grill and Bar. And don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu where everything is fresh, never frozen. With 4 great locations, there is bound to be one near you. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hop in with food and fun. I'm going to have you start doing that end with me, too. Like
I almost did it, and then I was like, I don't want to presume.
Presume. So it's just Frogger's, hopping with food and fun. So you'll be at my, because we'll say it in sync, and it sounds cool. So here with Ashley, and the name of her business is Get Me Automated. And so before we started the show, I was like, I'm not going to look up. So what I found out is that Get Me Automated is just really automating a lot of your systems, not only in sales, but in, like I said, other parts of business as well, right?
Right.
Well, first and foremost, how did you come up with the name? Because I think it's really, I mean, I understand it, but were you guys like sitting around a table saying, what should we call our business?
No, our company name is Jello Makes Me Nervous Incorporated, and it still is.
What is makes me nervous?
Jello. That's cute.
And we were running with that for a year and a half, and it wasn't.
What's the backstory on that?
I know.
Just a random something to make people wonder. Yeah, but then nobody has any sort of clue at all what you do.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. So then I was like, well, let's just get a DBA and Get Me Automated. That's what we're doing. So it's just to describe what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And how long ago was that?
3 years ago that we picked that name. Yeah.
And before that, what were you doing? What made you decide to get into this field at all?
Oh yeah. Okay. So I have an engineering degree, and I
electrical, computer.
and from BS EIT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I was actually working for 2 other companies that do this. I was their tech girl.
Oh, they probably were so sad when you left. They're like, no, don't go. What made you decide to start your own business, though? Because that's a big, like, Melissa did the same thing.
Yeah.
Where she was like, okay, corporate world, I'm like, I can do this better by myself.
Yeah, I just realized, like, I was taking on a lot of clients, like, personally, and I was doing some on the side, and I just realized, like, I really like this, and I could do this myself. It is a lot harder to run the whole business than it is just to do that one piece.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I like it. So.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that we talk a lot about on the show is, when entrepreneurship is, when you're doing, and that's usually what people's story is that they're doing something on a corporate level and then they branch off and start on their own. And it's a different world because you're not only now dealing with that particular service, you're dealing with, your license and this tax and that tax.
Oh,
and
stop talking about it. Just remember it's the beginning of the year.
I know.
I have to be doing all this stuff.
I have to get all my BaaD radio taxes stuff done too. And trust me, I am not looking forward to it.
Me either.
I know.
Who likes taxes?
Just getting the bookkeeper, like I dragged my feet on it so bad. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Here, take all this stuff.
Yeah.
Do it for me.
That's how I am. Please do this for me.
Last year we waited until September, and I'm not going to do that this year. I'm going to do them this month.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's different because like for like our personal stuff, it's April, right? And so we have till September. Yeah. I filed for an extension. I did all sorts. Anyway, does that part? Can you automate that for us?
I know.
Well?
I wish.
I know. That'd be nice.
Okay, so you were doing this type of work, you liked it, and so you decided to go branch out on your own. What did that look like? You came up with the name. Did you join BNI like right from the start?
No, just last year. So I've had some clients that I've had for 5 years. They've been with me. And then obviously I've gotten others over the years. So it was, I just started off with the 2 that I had, and just they used the Keep software that I was familiar with, and I just, we've built out other systems from there. So it's pretty impressive what we've gone for, over the years working with them and how they've started out as a smaller companies, and we've been able to scale them.
Right. That's the best too.
Yeah.
And then what happens with that is, as well is if that company gets bigger, right? And they have one person that you work with and they decide to leave, they move or do something like that. Then they start with another company. Guess what? You just picked up that company too. Right. Because they're like, hey, we know Ashley, she does a good job. And so that type of a referral business is priceless.
Right.
But what made you decide to try BNI?
to learn how to be a better at public speaking, which is why I'm also here.
I know. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but when I brought you up to Melissa, you're like, she's really soft spoken. I was like, really? I'm like, she reached out to me.
I know. I was like, I'm very introverted too, and I was like, oh, she's really introverted. Like, I'm like really proud. And when you said that she that you reached out to her, I was like, oh, look at her stepping outside of her box.
No, I know. I always was on the other side of the mic, like the sales side. So,
so you're used to talking.
Huh? I always talk to people, but I would always get that freeze up thing. Like if I had to talk in front of people, it doesn't happen anymore. But you know, like I love doing this, but I'm not a huge super fan of being like in a big group of people where you're trying to talk with people and shake hands. And I went to the Pride Chamber last night. They had an event.
Pride Chamber?
Yeah. A member, Stefan Brandt, with Body Street.
Oh yeah.
So it was fabulous. But towards the end, when the cocktails were starting to hit and everybody was getting really loud, I was like, all right. I'm like, my head's had enough.
Yeah.
Because it's like when the more people drink, their volume goes up higher and higher and higher. And you're like, I'm
a lot
still
of things
just like right here.
Yeah. The annoyance level, all that fun stuff. But yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, I don't like big groups either.
So is that a New Year's resolution?
To be, last year it was. And so that's why I think I've gotten a lot better in the last year at BNI. So this year is just to get better and be more, I guess, be on video and like.
Well, you came to the right place because you're going to be on radio and video and the whole 9 yards.
2 for 1.
Yep.
How many people do you have in your business? Is it just you, or is it you plus a couple other people?
Me plus 2 other people.
Very nice. And do you guys all do the same thing?
No. I am the one who plans out everything. Like, I have client calls. I'm the only one that's client facing. And so then we come up with a strategy, and then I piece it out. And then the pieces that I can delegate, I do. So that's been a big thing this last year is delegating. And
it's hard though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Are you one of those people that's like, it's just easier if I do it myself?
Yes. And then no one else had any work, and I was overwhelmed.
I know. Yeah. I know that feeling.
But sometimes it's true. Just having to explain it, or just knowing. I hate saying that, but just knowing it's not going to get done right the first time, it's frustrating. So delegating is super, super hard. So kudos to that.
You just got to find the right people. Because I remember when I was looking for an editor, like testing people out, and then it coming back, and then it was just so bad that you're just redoing it anyways. Where when I finally found my editor, I was like, thank you so much.
And so your editor now, they have like the same vision. They see things how you see them.
Yeah, he's super creative. He's awesome. So I'm just thankful. As soon as I found him, I was like,
I know that light. Well, I think that BNI is great for that. So you are in an industry that I don't see as being super saturated in BNI.
Correct. Right.
Yeah. Have you met anybody else that does what you do?
No.
we hold either.
Yeah, we hold the digital marketing seat, but I wouldn't say that we're like a full service. Like we don't do social media posting. Obviously, we can give you some advice, but that's definitely not something we do. So we do email marketing, which a lot of digital marketing.
So they had to find a seat, the category, and they're like, okay, that's close enough. So we're going to stick you in there.
Do you have somebody that you know that does like social media? Because I feel like that would be a huge thing that people would want. So do you have like a company you're paired with?
I've been referring people to Bolt's Media.
Okay, yeah.
So I think she does a really beautiful
job.
job.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no, they're really good. Mindful Media Group will do organic social. But we have bigger clients, and that organic piece is just something as part of their bigger overall marketing package. But I think, like I said, Bolt's Media will do it like on an individual level.
Okay.
But yeah, that organic social is super, super important, especially like with good content. And that's what this show does a lot for a lot of smaller businesses as well, is allows them to have content so people can see who they are, kind of get to know them a little bit before they decide to make that call. And then, like I said, sometimes it gets them out of their comfort zone as well. So on the automated side, there's music. I was about to launch.
Remember it. You want to ask it first so you don't forget?
That's all right. Well, that music means that we're going to break again. And I know, doesn't that 10 minutes go by fast?
Right.
So, all right, everybody, stay tuned because we'll be back with more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Liberty Property Inspections. Your home is one of your most important investments, so don't trust it to just anyone. LibertyPropertyInspections.net, helping you protect your investment. So we're here with Ashley with Get Me Automated, and we've been talking about a lot of the services that Get Me Automated offer. But what we're going to talk about right now is customized AI products. I'm not sure if I even said that right, but it's the gist of it, right? So you can customize AI to do the things individual businesses need based off of whatever their service is.
Yeah. So this week, actually yesterday, OpenAI opened up their store so that we can start putting our
OpenAI.
Right. So that's the company that owns ChatGPT.
Okay.
Yeah. And so inside of ChatGPT, if you have a paid plan,
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So you can create custom GPTs. So what you would do is train it. There's so many things you can do to train it. You can upload documents like of every single email you've ever sent. You can put all the info from your website. Like you can put, product lists that you have if you're a store that has products, like all the information. And also besides all that, you train it, your voice, like the temperature of your voice.
Your the way you talk and the way you write. Right.
Yeah. And then you also teach it basically what you're trying to train it is things not to do, because it's going to do everything. So what you need to indicate is things that you do not want it to do. So we are setting those up for people. And so it's pretty cool. When you sent me the promo banner yesterday for this show, I just uploaded it to my GPT and I said, write me 3 social media posts based on this, and you'll see them. They'll come out today.
I want to see. That's so fun.
Yeah. So it did all the
So it was able to take apart the JPEG or the PNG, so it can see without vector art and all that other stuff. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
It is. Are you nervous about, because that sounds like it's not that far of a leap for clients to just be able to, because I know you're in the similar field-ish, to just put in their content. And I mean, AI, they're making it to where it's simple to use for like anybody. Is like
I understand what you're saying. Is like, are we eliminating the creativity of people because people can use AI?
It sounds like it is not too far from doing your job,
right?
You know what I mean? Like,
I see both sides of it. For one thing, like what I use chat mostly for is to help me be a better content writer, a better script writer. So I'll write something down that I like. This is the points I want to make, and this is this and this, and I'll put it in there, and I'm like, make this sound better. Are you nice to your chat?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No.
I say thank you. And
I do too. I say please and thank you.
I do to my Siri though on my phone too. I'm nice.
They're like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Good luck with that proposal.
No comment.
I've said this on the show before. I'm nice to chat, so when AI takes over the world, they're gonna be like, I remember that Angela girl. She was kind. So she's not.
But the IT guy agreed no, they're gonna say that's weakness and take advantage. I thought we got past this.
We did.
It's okay.
So I find that's actually fascinating. But that's like how I'll use chat. Is like it just helps me get my job done faster and better.
Right.
But it couldn't do it without me.
How? Why? Why not?
Because I'm the one who has to give it direction.
Yeah, but so can a client. So like, I'm sorry. Anytime we get on AI, I get heated.
Yeah.
Because it's just like everybody's like, oh my God, it's so great. And it's like, okay, it's so great until it takes your job. So like, it just seems like if a client knew and had access to like be able to put in their images and things like that, and like, hey, write me 3, like, it's not that hard. Like they could do the same thing. Like,
well, I mean,
is that scary to you?
Honestly, no. I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. I do, but no, because I feel like it's never going to take away what people are good at, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you're a photographer, so you see things a certain way, and I can't do that, and neither can Ashley. I don't know if you're a photographer, but so you have to still give that AI the direction. Or, I mean, it can just spit out whatever it wants.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it's never going to be what you would have done in the first place. So, I don't know. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Well, like, I guess in relation to the custom GPTs, like, so this I remember Memorial Day. Like I'd asked ChatGPT, write me an email to send out for Memorial Day. And it started with ladies and gentlemen, and it was like ridiculously long. And it was just, I was like, this is not even like, I don't know who talks like this.
Yeah.
And so, I think the custom GPTs are easier because it comes out in a voice that I would actually use, and it's in a, concise, it's like 500 words. So it's nicer than having just like a regular prompt where you have to say rewrite this in a different, like you have to
That's what I do all the
saying,
time. I'm like, that was good, but I need you to not use so much slang or use more slang or whatever it might be. Sometimes I tried to write a commercial for a company called Bros with Hose, plant company.
I love it.
And
oh my God, I love that name.
Yeah.
They're a plant company?
Yeah.
So
they're going to be on the
cute.
show.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. They call it BWH Plant Co. But Chat was like, nope, sorry, can't help you. And I was like, why not?
That's a prude.
And it was, it said it couldn't help me because it took it as the content of not a plant company. But, I think I might have said, if this was like men and prostitutes or something, you know what I mean? Like make it pun like. And it was like, no, sorry, can't help you.
That's funny.
But the company's great. I can't wait to have them on. They have such a great story. So these customized chats. So I have the $20 version of Chat. So can I get that, or is that something I pay you and you help me customize it? How does that work?
Yeah. So there's two ways. Like we have a membership where you can join, and I do videos and answer questions if you want to walk through doing it yourself. Not just with the ChatGPT, but with any kind of automation questions.
So that's how you do it, like in a virtual setting,
right?
Okay, well, that's cool. And so it's like it's a group that we can just join, and you're going through. You're like, today I'm covering custom AIs, and then I join that one.
Right. Yeah. So that's one way. But if you don't have time or you don't have the patience for that, then you can also hire.
Are they live? Or are they recorded?
Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's taking you out of your comfort zone. Is that something you just started, or is that something you've been doing?
Yeah, we just started. So
how's it going?
Good.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you've taught so far?
Well, just the custom GPTs, and then we've really been honing in on the email authentication because that's coming up February 1st. So.
Are you sending things out warning customers that this is coming and then they need to address it?
Yeah. So all of our clients that we have, they've been getting emails letting them know. I think 75% of them are up to date. We just need to get the last ones done.
What industry do you think is going to be the most affected? I'm thinking anybody that's in sales.
Anyone who sends 5,000 emails or more at a time. So yeah, sales. Yeah.
I don't even know anybody that says 5,000 emails at a time.
Sends them? Yeah, no, I don't know. How do you? But my inbox is like,
I know,
so spammed out. It's not even like right now. I think I have like 5,000.
I know, me too. On my Gmail,
5,203 emails, and it's because, excuse me, it gets to a certain point where it's going to take me so long just to delete it all, and it's all spam.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, my Gmail's like that too. But my BaaD Radio and my Mindful Media group, I keep it clean because I have
to. Yeah. I set up filters all the time. Like if I get something from Staples too many times, I just set up a filter. I don't need to see every day Staples sales. Or whatever.
Like I'll take a day where I'll just like unsubscribe to like a bunch of stuff, but I feel like it doesn't work for some reason. I feel like or
they figure a way around it. They're like, we're still gonna get her.
Or else the businesses just keep rotating or something. But so like, what do you like advise like for your clients to have? Because you do like email marketing, so some ways that
like
you have
successful
higher
campaigns,
open rates,
to get higher open rates,
rates, and like for them to like work and not just people just be like trash.
So for sure, watch your language. In like you should put your email through a spam check. You can also put it in ChatGPT and ask it to check for spam words.
But I mean, do you give recommendations on what the title of that email should be so people are more likely to open it versus just be like,
like don't use the words free, don't use the word sale. Like there's just certain like trigger words that are definitely going to throw you into the spam.
I've noticed that the ones I get use my first name more, Angela, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's like the beginning of a sentence, and you're like, you're not triggering me.
Well, we're going to talk more about that, but we're going to go to break. So everybody stay tuned for more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
And I'd like to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, Bolts Legal. Fear no storm with boltslegal.com. Crazy Muscle Nutrition located on 436 in Castleberry. Imbalanced Body Works in Lake Mary. Derek Brantley is ready to help take your pain away. Forge IT Consulting, providing a fully outsourced IT department with a personal touch for small business. ForgeITConsulting.com. All right, we're here with Ashley with Get Me Automated, and what we were talking about is customized AIs. And so other than chat, is there any other, do you call them a platform or what do you call chat?
Yeah, so there are, like, there's BaaD, and then Twitter.
Does Google have one too?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah,
I'm pretty
BaaD.
sure
Yeah.
Bing.
Is
Bing has one, I think, right? And then Perplexity's one. There's like a million of them out there.
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah.
Is chat the best?
It's the only one right now where you can make custom GPTs. So I'm sure that's going to change. Everything's changing so quickly. So
Just a real quick story is I work for a really great lady. Her name is Crystal Morris, and she was putting things in a chat like, show me a picture of, a nuclear family, which is just, the mom and dad, whatever. And it could not get it right. It was like mom, dad, and then an extra mom with like 2 kids. And then it was like 2 dads. It like it's for some reason it was just not working.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if she's like, no, without 2 moms. And and it was just hilarious because it just was not getting it. And I have had that experience with chat sometimes where I'm like, I want something very specific and it can't get it.
right.
But that's where the personal, the personality, like the individual comes in. Because like I said, it's never going to be what a person can do. So with the customized chats, when you teach your course, how do you start it? I mean, is it basic, like download chat, do this, do that?
Yeah, very like, then click here, and then we'll install, and then go through the steps and, explain exactly how to set it up. So a lot of people are also using these for, like, you've probably seen on websites, the little
Blogs?
messengers where you ask questions, like the frequently asked questions. So you can use your custom chat GPT to hook it up to your
So
messenger.
when somebody says, what are your open hours?
Right.
It will say, bing.
Yeah, we're open from 9 to 5.
It will say bing.
Yeah.
How come when I ask those dumb things questions, they never can answer what I want? It's never got the answer, dang it.
Maybe they weren't set up right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. I keep seeing a lot of people are trying to not break them, but test them. And so definitely setting them up correctly is important, because otherwise they'll just go off on tangents. So
So for me, like, I do like a lot of copywriting, commercial writing. And so would I be able to set it up to where I could just have different categories, like a humorous commercial, a serious commercial, things like that?
So yeah, so what I do is all of my clients that I do emails for have their own GPT that I've created. I didn't give them to them. We just have them. And so they all have their voice, and I've uploaded all their stuff. And so I'll say, like, let's write the emails for Joe, and it's in her voice. And so for copywriting, yes, you could have different ones with different tones and voices, and then have them.
Because I find it extremely helpful when I'm just tired at the end of the day and I still need to write 2 more commercials. And like I said, I know what I want to say, just don't, and I'm just tired and I'm just burnt. And I'm just like, can you do this? And most of the time it's not exact, but I can take it and tweak it to where it's right. So that's where I've been finding it helpful. But everyone's different. And I noticed that chat gets stuck on using the same words a lot over and over again. Is there a way to make it stop?
Yeah, so definitely that's one thing. Just you could go in and say, exclude the word all right. Like, I don't, like, or exclude this phrase. Like, don't keep, or only have this phrase one time in the thing. So yeah, you can definitely, basically you're teaching it, like I said, the things that you don't want it to do. So you just kind of.
And I want to call them classes that you teach, but they're not really. They're,
Like tutorial.
tutorial.
Right. Yeah.
How does somebody get involved with that? You said it was a membership?
Right. So you can just go to our website, Get Me
What's
Automated.
your website?
GetMeAutomated.com, and there'll be a pop-up on there, and you can sign up.
And so what are all the services on there that you offer?
So the membership, and then we also have like monthly blocks of hours that some of our clients have. So we do recurring if we're doing their email marketing for them. And then we do campaigns monthly. And then sometimes people come to us and they want to move from one CRM to another. Like we just did a Salesforce move over. And so that'll be like a project, and we'll work on that and complete it.
So it's just like getting the info from one to the other so that they can continue, but still business as usual while that's happening.
Right.
That's got to be super fun.
Yeah.
How much does it cost for a membership? And those are different levels?
Yes. So there's a free level. It's just like basic overview, and I kind of set that up so that members of my B&I group could
I want to go.
see.
So Tuesdays and Thursdays at what time?
12 to 1.
Okay, so people's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're also recorded, so if you can't make it, you can follow along.
So how do you make it so some are free and some aren't?
So the free is just like a basic overview. It's just like a 2 to 3 minute video. Like here's about ChatGPTs, and so it's sort of like a teaser. Like if you're interested, then you can, join and learn more.
Do you find people being blown away about everything that they? Because my thing is I haven't fully grasped everything that it can do, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, I spent the Christmas break learning all the new things that it can do, and like I said, it's coming every day. It's changing. So
is there classes that you can take? I mean, not do universities teach chat yet?
Not yet, and I've been looking for YouTube videos, and they're slowly coming out, but there's not a whole lot of information.
The ones you're finding, where are they coming from? What region?
India.
I was just wondering. I would have figured India,
Yeah.
where all the call centers are and whatnot.
That was the first, yeah. And so there's one guy in the U.S. He had one, but he was at the end of the video. It was selling into something else. He didn't actually go into explaining. So I think it's super new, which is cool.
Right, but I mean, you're kind of pioneering and teaching that.
Yeah.
What are some of the other things that chat can do that we wouldn't even think about?
So I love to do spreadsheets. That's one of the things I do for my clients.
I love spreadsheets
reporting.
too.
Yeah, so
Excel's my jam.
Yes. So obviously you know about writing all the functions and how tedious that can be. And
I do them all. When I learned, it's like writing code.
Yes.
I don't know all the shortcuts. I only know the long ways.
Yeah. No, but you know how complicated that is. So I'm just blown away. I take the data now, instead of doing these spreadsheets, just put it into ChatGPT, and it analyzes everything.
Wow.
Like I don't have to do all those VLOOKUPs and all that.
See, that's
stuff
helpful.
anymore.
That's the thing I would use it for.
But question, is it that you just copy and paste it into that little bar in chat and it does it? Or is there like different places to upload stuff?
Yeah, you can upload a file, PDF or
okay, because that part I haven't done. The only thing I've done so far is like the talking to it. My daughter has done graphics and animating things that she wanted to put in something, but I have never done that. So you can upload a spreadsheet, a PDF. I mean, can you just upload about any file type? Wow,
it's pretty cool. And
can it balance your checkbook?
Probably, yeah.
Can it give you financial advice? No, that's actually really cool. Like I said, some of the capabilities I haven't even got my head wrapped around. I know how I've used it personally. It's been really helpful. But I'm sure it probably could be like twice, or so much more helpful if I just knew what it could do. I guess it's like how far can you think ahead?
Well, another thing is if you have a business that has products like with an inventory, and like you're selling and receiving each day, so you can hook up like with a API. You would hook up your store database to the custom ChatGPT, and so I could go in, or a client could go in and ask like, how many red roses do you have now, and then
it would tell you.
Answer, yeah.
That's fascinating. I still, like I said, I could ask you a million questions about that, but I think I'm going to join you for like one of your Tuesday or Thursday things. Okay. I'm going to check it out. All right. Well, that music means that we're coming to the end of the show. So give everybody all your contact information, how to reach you.
Okay. So you can go to our website at getmeautomated.com, and you can call us at 407-809-1138.
Awesome.
All right. And you can find me at strikingbrand.com. You can email me at melissa@strikingbrand.com.
And you can reach me at angela@baadradio.com. I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors, and thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful week, everyone.